You're tuning into the deep dive, and today we're taking a fascinating look into the work of a really compelling voice in Nigerian contemporary art.
That's right, the painter John Onyedikachi, Susan.
Exactly. We know you want to get up to speed quickly and really understand things thoroughly. So we've spent some time with her artist bio, descriptions of her work.
Mm-hmm. Trying to bring you the most valuable insights into her whole artistic world.
So we're diving deep into Susan John, born 1995, Ukwa West, Abia State, Nigeria.
Right, and she studied fine and applied arts, specializing in painting, at the Federal Polytechnic Oko.
Our goal here, our kind of mission, is to explore the key themes, the inspirations, her artistic methods.
All based on the material we have available. And we should definitely touch on the variety of mediums she uses, too.
Oh, yeah. Charcoal, oil, acrylic, mixed media. It's quite a range.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation, the core of her art. It seems pretty clear from her bio and statements that her African heritage is just fundamental.
It really is. You get this strong sense of connection to Nigeria's incredibly rich and diverse cultures. It's woven all through her work.
But it's not just like showing pictures of culture, is it?
No, not at all. The way it's described, she's more of a visual storyteller. She seems to blend traditional African elements into, a contemporary conversation.
So less about just representing something directly.
And more about a dialogue, maybe, where history kind of finds a new voice in her current work.
That makes sense. And her work hits on some really big themes, too. Identity, for one.
Yes, and specifically womanhood seems very central. Also culture, how it's changing, and these big societal shifts happening across Africa.
If you look at her artist statement, she's quite explicit about her intentions.
She is. She calls her art a vessel, like a container.
Right, a vessel for exploring, documenting, celebrating Nigerian heritage.
And she talks about each piece being a dialogue between tradition and the modern world. That's a key phrase.
It is, and also a space where ancestral memory meets evolving identity. It feels very dynamic.
It's definitely more than just making something visually appealing. It's a real, thoughtful engagement with where she comes from.
And it feels like she's not just celebrating it, but also kind of questioning it.
Well, she does say she wants to honor her culture, but also question its structures.
Which is a really interesting balance to strike, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It highlights this idea of the artist having a critical role, not just reflecting, but engaging.
She also emphasizes art as a language of connection.
Yeah, hoping that viewers will see themselves in the work, maybe reflect on their own experiences.
Even if the specific narrative is unfamiliar, there's maybe a universal human thing there.
Exactly. Building connections.
She literally uses the word bridge in her statement.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she calls her work a bridge between past and present, individual and collective, heritage and possibility.
Wow. Okay. That's quite a powerful statement of intent.
It really is. So should we look at how this plays out in some specific pieces?
Let's do it. Where should we start? How about Lean on Me from 2024?
Okay, yeah. Charcoal, oil, acrylic on canvas, 3 by 3 feet. It's described as a poignant visual symphony of vulnerability, compassion, and shared humanity.
Visual symphony. What stands out to you there?
For me, it's the phrase, silent power of togetherness. The description mentions these two figures, blurred but intimate.
Leaning on each other.
Yeah, leaning on each other for strength, not weakness, against this dreamlike background.
And the textures mentioned too, the mix of charcoal, oil, acrylic, suggesting burdens silently carried.
And whispered reassurances. It adds this tactile feeling, this weight.
So she seems to be exploring that universal idea that, when we're fragile, connection is vital. It's how we find support.
It's summed up as a visual poem about love, solidarity, emotional refuge.
It's a lovely counterpoint to the idea of just pure independence, isn't it? Showing the beauty in depending on each other.
Definitely. Okay, what about solitude? Also 2024, charcoal and acrylic, same size.
Right. This one invites us into a sacred, hushed realm of introspection.
I like the description, deceptively quiet.
Suggests there's more going on beneath the surface.
Yeah, like a stillness that holds a lot of interactivity. The contrast between the soft charcoal and the bolder acrylic might play into that.
And it's important, I think, that it's framed not as loneliness, but as a celebration of personal presence.
Right. The figure is alone, but in communion with their own spirit, sort of bathed in light and shadow. It's about wholeness within oneself.
The description mentions the meditative quality of the brush strokes, the muted colors.
Reflecting those inner emotional landscapes.
I find this idea of empowerment through stillness really interesting. Silence isn't empty.
It's a fertile space, it says, for clarity, for selfhood.
Yeah. So solitude becomes this internal bloom where you're untethered but also whole. It's quite profound.
Let's shift to her crowning glory one, another 2024 piece, charcoal and acrylic 3 by 3 feet. One version is marked sold, another seems available.
Interesting. The core idea seems to be a visual celebration of strength, resilience, and empowerment inherent in every woman.
What grabs me is how the crown isn't, jewels or gold.
It's her hair.
Exactly. Her hair, woven with strands of history and culture. It symbolizes her journey, her self-discovery.
A personal triumph. And the description mentions bold, vibrant colors signifying radiance, majesty.
And that play of light and shadow again, showing the visible and maybe the unseen parts of her identity.
It really connects back to those core themes.
Uh-huh.
Identity, heritage, personal triumph. The woman isn't passive. She claims her space, defines her narrative.
And rises above societal constraints. It's a really strong visual metaphor for womanhood.
Absolutely. Powerful stuff.
Okay, next is Floral Crown, also 2024. Bit larger, 3 by 4 feet. Charcoal, oil, and acrylic. Studio price listed at $700.
This one apparently symbolizes the delicate relationship between nature and identity.
So another reimagined crown, but this time,
Flowers. Lush, vibrant flowers, replacing traditional symbols of authority.
which brings in ideas of fragility, renewal, the transient nature of life itself.
Yeah, it makes you think about beauty, how it can be fleeting but also enduring. The description notes how perishable blooms can still evoke timeless grace and strength.
That juxtaposition, nature's impermanence versus human memory.
It becomes a poignant meditation on life, fragility, and the enduring power of beauty. It's quite layered.
It really is. Okay, let's jump to 2025. First up, Happy Moments. 36 by 36 inches, charcoal and acrylic, noted as sold.
This one aims to capture the fleeting yet profound nature of joy. Pure, unguarded joy.
How does the description say she achieves that?
Through vibrant colors and dynamic brushstrokes, trying to pull the viewer into that moment where time stops.
Celebrating small pleasures like shared laughter or quiet contentment.
Exactly. And emphasizing that these brief moments, they actually shape us in lasting ways. Their impact endures.
Following that, we have Happy in My Element, smaller, 22 by 33 inches, charcoal and acrylic, $500 studio price.
This one's described as a luminous celebration of presence, peace, and personal alignment.
Luminous, what does that suggest visually?
Well, the description mentions an exquisite interplay of the mediums, creating a quiet symphony of self-discovery. The subject glows with unshakable serenity.
Just completely at ease, authentically themselves.
And the description emphasizes intention. Every line is intentional, every curve softened, every color chosen with care to mirror the harmony between being and belonging.
Like a quiet song whispered by the earth. There's a real rhythm implied there.
It seems to capture that feeling of self-acceptance, the quiet ecstasy of being comfortable in your own skin.
With the background having natural textures, enhancing that sense of being in tune with the world.
Yeah, it's positioned as an emotional mirror, inviting the viewer to think about what it feels like to be truly aligned, deeply connected.
Whispering that happiness is right here, right now, in this state of alignment.
Precisely.
Okay, next is Spirit Animal. 24 by 35 inches, charcoal and acrylic, 2025. This one focuses on the symbolism of the rooster.
Right, as a messenger and a symbol of awakening.
What kind of symbolism does the rooster carry?
Well, traditionally, it embodies energy, resilience, new possibilities. Think of the dawn.
A reminder to embrace new beginnings.
Exactly. And as a spirit animal, it often signifies courage, confidence, a call to rise above self-doubt.
Like a call to action.
Yeah. Culturally, it can also represent vitality, awareness, protection, being alert, but grounded.
So the painting tries to capture that vibrant spirit, urging us to wake up, be bold, live with purpose.
That seems to be the essence of it, clarity and purpose.
Okay, last one on our list, the Rose of Sharon. This is a larger piece, 32 by 48 inches, charcoal and acrylic.
This one blends rose imagery with a woman's presence, symbolizing the complex duality of feminine nature.
Duality. What kind of complexities are we talking about?
Well, roses symbolize beauty, love, creation, but they also have thorns.
Ah, okay. So the thorns represent inner strength alongside grace.
That seems to be the idea. The roses represent the layers of a woman's existence, vulnerability, tenderness, but also resilience. power within delicacy.
And roses connect to themes of love and sacrifice, too, historically.
Right, so the thorns might also speak to the challenges women face, the obstacles they navigate, without losing their inherent beauty.
So the woman is the rose in full bloom.
Yes, embodying that complexity.
Mm.
Delicate but strong, beautiful but resilient, multifaceted.
Wow. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, you really get a strong sense of Susan John's artistic vision.
You really do. That deep connection to Nigerian heritage, the exploration of identity, womanhood.
And her skill in blending traditional and contemporary elements is remarkable.
Absolutely. And using all those different mediums, the charcoal, oil, acrylic, the mixed media, to get these powerful stories across with both subtlety and impact.
Her art really does feel like that bridge she mentioned.
It does, connecting past and present, individual and collective, heritage and possibility. It offers so much room for reflection.
This has been really illuminating, a great way to get to grips with her work quickly. And it leaves us with maybe one final thought for our listeners. Well, considering Susan John's focus on bridging the past and the present in her art, what aspects of your own life or your own cultural background might benefit from that same kind of approach, that deliberate connection and reinterpretation?
That's a really interesting question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on